El Niño Sicario, a 14-year-old minor accused of kidnapping and unaliving in Tabasco, arrested. 14 years old. That's a little dude right there. Little dude right there. This is a little dude, but this is an old dude. You can see it in his face. Now, we've spoken of children assassins before. I believe his name was Epochis, was one of them we spoke of, who, from my understanding, managed to escape. Who knows if that's true or not? The Olmeca Interinstitutional Tactical Reaction Force, FIRT, arrested Derek Jair N. on Sunday, known as El Niño Sicario, and also nicknamed El Niño Piedra, the alleged leader of a cell linked to snatching, unaliving, and rug distribution in the Centro and Paraíso regions of Tabasco. The 14-year-old was arrested near the Villahermosa La Isla Highway and in the Corregidora Ranch, 5th section, along with Jose Asuncion N., alias El Chuncho, identified as an operator under the orders of El Chicle, currently imprisoned in the Tabasco State Social Reintegration Center. The arrest was made by members of the Olmeca FIRT in coordination with the Tiburon Command. During surveillance in the Isla area, they identified the suspect as they were trying to set fire to a home. Shit. Shorty was trying to set fire to a home, huh? Upon noticing the police presence, El Niño Piedra attempted to fire a 9mm Intratec Uzi-style submachine hammer, equipped with a mag and 23 live rounds. The weapon jammed, allowing officers to arrest individuals without reporting any injuries. During the search, officers seized a black backpack containing several doses of rugs, including small bags of bud and Method Man. Blue and yellow cardboard signs with threatening messages directed at rival groups were also seized. These dudes had the everything in the backpack, everything. They had the rug distribution. They had threatening and menacing signs. They had, they had it all, man. They had the weapons. They were burning a house. They got run up on by the law. They upstrap on the law. The strap jammed. The law got in their bag and found the rugs. And they had mantas in their bags and shit. It's crazy, boy. Mexico wilder than a motherfucker. Videos of a woman who had allegedly been snatched and released were found on El Niño Piedra's cell phone, along with messages of the unaliving of another victim whose body had allegedly been buried on a property in Paraíso. This kid got a track record. They literally had everything they ever done on them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Snatchings, rugs, hammers, arson, everything. Both the detainees and all the seized items were placed at the disposal of the state's attorney general for further investigation and determination of responsibility. The case of El Niño Sicario is part of a national problem. The Network for Children's Rights in Mexico has warned that from 2006 to 2010, more than 25,000 children and adolescents were involved at various levels in organized crime structures, although they warn that the actual current figure may be higher. The most recent figures are unknown. However, they could be much higher as recruitment has diversified, including not only street persuasion, but also on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and video games, Call of Duty and Roblox. That's crazy. How you can't pinpoint that? You could pinpoint people's IP. People could dox people. People could swap people. All of these things. But these major companies, these giant companies with all this money that make all this money on these people, can't pinpoint these accounts and stop this shit from happening and not allow this to be a gateway for kids to be recruited into this shit. Now, I don't imagine kids that are in Mexico that are so poor that they need to do the things they're doing with these grown men would even have a TikTok or video games or internet or Call of Duty or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But if what we're protecting is kids who have that shit, well, then do me a favor. All of you companies, Google, ChatGPT, all of you people, figure out how to stop that shit. That shit sounds easy to me. Digital footprint, easy to me. Whatever. TikTok, Instagram, video games, Call of Duty, Roblox, where criminal culture is glorified by displaying access to money, power, and weapons. Whatever kids they are. You know what I'm saying? Whether they got video games, they don't got video games. If they got video games, listen, I'm pretty sure that these big companies, these billion-dollar corporations, can stop cartel recruiting video games and social media, that's marketed to kids. It just sounds dumb to me. But this kid got a track record, the track record of a very evil man. And he's just a 14-year-old kid. But again, he probably don't know nothing else. People look at him and be like, he's a piece of shit. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, he can't consent to any of that shit. To smoking nobody, to snatching nobody, to none of that. Maybe helping that kid's scenario might have changed his life, but we always say, you can't forget about the children, got to protect the children. But then people chalk it up and say, what can we do? Yeah, those kids are forgotten. This kid had everything on him. All his transgressions was on him. Snatching evidence, rugs, everything. Alleged child assassin to be tried as a juvenile in Tabasco. All right? That's the update on that story. The president of the High Court of Justice, Efraín Resendez Bocanegra, confirmed that the teenager accused of serious crimes will be prosecuted in accordance with the law specializing in juvenile justice. Following the arrest of a 15-year-old minor, now he's 15, linked to crimes of snatching, unaliving, and rug trafficking, the president of the Superior Court of Justice of the state of Tabasco, Efraín Resendez Bocanegra, stated that he will be tried as a juvenile. Although he didn't elaborate on the matter, he reiterated that the process is being conducted in accordance with the law and that the state's attorney general's office in charge of the investigation in accordance with the crimes committed by the minor. Out of respect for due process, he is being treated in accordance with the law, with all human rights respected and treated as a teenager. He will be tried and the investigation will proceed on the same terms as for any adult. However, the penalties are different, and so is the way they are served, he explained. When asked whether there should be a reform of criminal law, Resendez Bocanegra pointed out that such cases would not arise if previous governments had strengthened. Everybody just points the finger. Just say you don't got an answer, bro. Just say that you can't save nobody. When asked whether there should be a reform of criminal law, he pointed out that such cases would not arise if previous governments had strengthened the social fabric, working with families at home and promoting values. That's not what they asked you. They didn't ask you none of that. Unfortunately, that is what has damaged the state so much, having stopped paying attention to social issues and the foundations of families. That's what we're trying to do and what we're going to do. We're going to pacify Tabasco. It will take time because the damage that was done for so long is having consequences. Then do it. Somebody else is going to be down the line in a couple of years talking about what you didn't do. He added that the current government, through hearings and social programs, in addition to bringing services closer to the communities of 17 municipalities, seeks to restore the social core. Finally, he ruled out the possibility that the state isn't prepared to administer justice in cases where the alleged offenders are minors, and specified that, although the sentences are lesser than those imposed on adults, the law is applied to the same rigor, with the same rigor. Now, Shorty's going to be tried as a juvenile. When he gets out, who's he getting out to? Is he getting out? They said the time will be served different. How's that? Is there hope for this kid? Or is this kid relegated to a short life? Maybe he don't go back to prison. Maybe he just don't make it. He ain't alone though. There's a lot of kids like him. They were hungry. They were abandoned. They didn't learn nothing. The shit that they learned, they put to practice and they used to make money so that they could eat. Then what? So let's stop pretending that, oh, there's no children left behind nowhere and everything works out for the better. Nah. For some, it don't. Not to mention the psychological effects that they're going to stick. They're not going nowhere. The psychological effects will be with them whether they continue the same life or try something else. The psychological effect is there. The damage is already done. Look at him. Shorty don't belong in that mix. But if you ask me, his posture don't make me feel like he's crying on the other side of it. I don't think he's crying, facing that car. They setting the house on fire, and this is what they found on him. I don't know, Shorty. I hope there's some kind of hope for you, but I doubt it, unfortunately.